The town of Barnstable honors longtime town employees. The school committee is working to select a superintendent this week, and Cape Cod Community College is making it easier to go back to school. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Monday, December 7th, 2015. I'm Sarah Mannel. The town of Barnstable hosts its annual Years of Service celebration honoring longtime town employees. Town manager Tom Lynch says 20 retirees and 71 active employees were honored this past Friday.
You can see the progression along the way of individuals who have devoted their entire professional career here to Barnstable, taken advantage of training and opportunities to step up and to move up in leadership. And not always the case. Sometimes someone's very happy performing one of those skilled tasks that you need, and we value that sort of service, as we do try to provide opportunities to our employees to move up and forward. So, and you know, when you go around and talk to people, they're very proud of the fact that they, you know, have come into the workforce here and picked up skills, made good friends, made good friends with the people that they serve. And you know, we have to remember that often citizens out there may only come in contact with town government once or twice a year, and when they do, we want to see that that's a pleasant experience, a professional experience, and we're always happy when we hear that they value the employees as much as we valued their service. So it was a good day, and you know, I think that people enjoyed it.
And following the Years of Service celebration, all employees honored were given the afternoon off. The former Marston's Mills Elementary School and surrounding land could be used to increase the town's housing availability. Town manager Tom Lynch says the idea came after plans to fill the vacant space fell through.
Issues were always siting, and then you know, after you pick a site, you know, what type of housing is going to go in there. And as we have reported on this program, the Cotuit Center for the Arts, you know, put in a request for proposal or answered a request for a proposal to try to do something at the old Marston's Mills School out in Marston's Mills along Route 28 there. That didn't work out for a variety of reasons, insurance and whatever. And people very quickly, I think, went to a second alternative, which was to use some of that property for housing. And I've heard from you know, Councilor Cushing in that area that the Civic Association is endorsing it, and so to be able to move forward now with a whole series of questions that you have to look at. You know, who's going to be responsible for either remodeling or taking that building down? How many units are you going to put there? What type of housing will you be looking at? Will it be market rate housing, workforce housing? Will it be a combination of it? Will it be families? Will it be you know, single individuals, senior housing? There are so many needs that we have, as well as a variety of ways to attack that. And so once you get the scope of what you really want, then you can structure a request for proposal that we're already working on, because Falmouth did a similar thing along this way, but I've already tasked you know, our purchasing folks to be looking at that, so we can, you know, be ready to go with the paperwork on our end, because there are a limited number of developers out there that have the capacity to do a project like this. But we're going to be working with hopefully the Housing Committee and councils from that and citizens from that area to address those major concerns, and then from that, you know, move into hopefully a development phase.
Lynch says the potential project will take some time to put together, but that officials will involve the community in planning all along the way. A new superintendent for Barnstable Public Schools could be named by the end of the week. Interim Superintendent of Schools Bill Butler says a special school committee meeting will be held this Thursday to interview the top 3 candidates.
We have the interviews of the superintendent finalists. The first one at 5 o'clock is Kathleen Burnham. And then at 6:30, Sarah Ahern, and then at 8 o'clock, Meg Mayo Brown. The committee had plan to wait until January to make a decision on an appointment, but because of Meg Mayo Brown's contractual situation in Fall River, they're going to advance the process and hold a special meeting Friday night, this coming Friday night. The location still has to be determined, and deliberate and vote. Those interviews will be open to the public and will begin at 5 Thursday night at Barnstable Intermediate School. When will Barnstable students head back to class next fall? Interim Superintendent of Schools Bill Butler says the school committee will soon vote on the proposed 2016-2017 calendar. The school committee had a first reading of the school calendar for 2016-2017. And as happens every year, we present them with a couple of options. One is to start the student school year before Labor Day and or after Labor Day. You know, obvious lengthy discussion about the pros and cons of that. People don't like starting before Labor Day, but they also don't like going late in June. So. And Butler says the school committee is also considering consolidating some half days into a single day off for students to make it easier on both staff and parents. Cape Cod Community College is making it easier for prospective students to go back to school. Communications Director Michael Gross says anyone looking to begin next semester should start the process now.
And we've really changed how we welcome the public into the college. For those who may have been here before or have had students here before, they may have remembered that you came in, you got a date to take your placement test, and then you got a date to come back and talk to an advisor, and then you came back and talked to... For some reason, we had the come back and talk to us mentality over and over again. We really looked at all of that and said, we wouldn't want to do that either. That makes no sense. And we really have redesigned it all. And it's now an ability for you to come in and be welcomed in, go through this entire process, and make it a one-stop shop as much as we possibly can. And even more than that, we now have set up our Wednesday to be a later day, so that if you come in Wednesday up until 7 o'clock, we can welcome you in, you can sit down and talk to an academic advisor, you can get the placement testing that you need to see where it would be best for you to begin. You can talk to an academic advisor about the kind of programs we have. You don't necessarily have to walk in and exactly know what degree you're going to walk out with. Very few people, and honestly, really do know that. But they have some idea of what they think they'd like to study or the next career move they'd like to make. They really need to talk to someone. And right now is a great time because we're not crushing with enrollments. That's going to happen. When you start getting into the first week of January, the second week of January, classes begin the 25th, all of a sudden the lines begin to form in front of registration and in front of advising, then we are going to be stuck in that sort of, you know, well, could you come back in an hour, or we hate to say those things. So we're really trying to get the public to think about come now and get prepared. We're there. We've changed the process. It is not like take a number at the deli. It really isn't. And in talking to Christine McCary, who is our Dean of Enrollment Services, she's really working hard to try to get the public to understand that coming and being prepared to be successful. We do start January the 3rd, I think it is, for those who are 4th who want to start a really quick term and short little classes in our intersession, and then the classes really begin on the 25th. Well, look, we've got essentially a month before that to get all of this done. And the nice thing is I know it's a busy time of year. So just pick the day. Pick Wednesday, the middle of the week. Just come in any time of the day. Maybe you've got an hour at lunchtime to begin the process. Maybe you could come in right at the end of work, drive in. We're here until 7 o'clock on Wednesday. And you can learn more about the programs offered at Cape Cod Community College by visiting capecod.edu. Well, be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 7 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will chat with Police Chief Paul McDonald. We'll talk with the Director of Public Works, Dan Santos. Plus, we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mantle.